you are feeling frustrated for struggling even after doing all this work. So this is something that I go through all the time, and I know a lot of people do. We feel like, why does my body feel so bad? Why does my mind feel so bad? Why does my emotional state feel so bad? Even after doing like years of work on ourselves. And the first thing I want to do is reassure you that it's not because you did something wrong, or you didn't do enough of something, or you're missing some piece of the puzzle. That's definitely not it. It's because you are quickly becoming even more conscious and aware on this planet. And it's happening, it's happening so fast. We have never experienced this amount of information and consciousness and energy coming into this planet. So when you become more conscious and aware of each new thing that you're realizing and experiencing on this planet, all of that stuff has to go through a process of integration that affects every single part of you. Okay? So that's why things are so intense. That's why it feels like, I haven't done a day of work on myself or my emotional state. That is why it feels that way. You have to understand that everything starts in your mind. You become aware of something, and then it has to go through your nervous system and your emotional body, and it has to catch up. All of that stuff has to catch up to what your mind already knows and understands. So it's a process, and it takes time. The cycle it looks something like this. You're feeling the effects of very intense solar and geomagnetic activity right now, right? And that activity is pushing even more awareness into your physical body, your emotional body. So you start to shed emotion, you start to shed old programming, and then your body is also trying to keep up with all of this. It's also processing, it's part of it. It's processing everything that your mind is learning and realizing. And that can show up as the physical symptoms and even the emotional symptoms, like the intensity and the grief and the fatigue and the, feeling like you're going to collapse until your system is able to integrate and stabilize everything. So it's a lot. And this is not something, this is very important, this is not something that you can ascend out of or transcend. It's not something that you're meant to ascend or transcend. We are, again, as always, learning to be with ourselves and tend to ourselves while this is all happening. And since we're not used to that, sometimes we do have to be shocked into it. We have to be completely overwhelmed and collapse from the weight of carrying too much emotion and stress and responsibility for too long. It's not pleasant, but we have to allow ourselves to collapse if we need to, in whatever way that we need to. The most painful thing we can do at this point is resist what's happening and resist collapsing if we need to collapse. So again, you're not meant to transcend, fix, numb, reframe, escape, any of those things. You're not supposed to do any of those things with what's happening in your physical, emotional, and spiritual body. A lot of spiritual stuff tries to teach teach you these ridiculous things like ascending or being above what you're thinking or feeling. And that's just bypassing. That's all it is, an escapism. And that's resistance. And that creates even more pain and struggle. Again, what we resist persists. The more we push something away, the harder it's going to come back at us because it just wants our attention and care. Okay? So what we're doing right now is so important and so necessary. We're learning to stay present and grounded and human while all of this really difficult stuff is moving through us. And that is a tall order. But being with ourselves and our emotions, allowing anger, frustration, tears, giving ourselves the space and the time to process and rest, being the parents and pulling ourselves back from the ledge when we're feeling really desperate. We have to use words of comfort and reassurance and be with ourselves. Again, hand over the chest. Be still, breathe, and reassure yourself until you feel better, for as long as it takes for you to feel better, to get you out of that, panic state. Put on music, watch a funny movie, connect with people or things that you care about. Take a bath. A nice hot bath does it for me every time. Anything that gives you even the smallest amount of comfort and peace in that moment. I know, believe me, I'm having one of those days right now. I know the world can feel difficult and damn near impossible sometimes. It does, man. I have days that I just think, I can't take one more fucking second of this. But I can promise you two things. One, that you have come here with everything you need to get through even the hardest days on this planet. And two, that intervening on your own behalf, self-rescuing, giving yourself compassion and care and lots of rest are the things that will help you the most, heal you the most, and set your body, mind, and spirit free. Hang in there. Thanks for being here. I'll see you next time.